PressSign Pro buyers have 3 clients included. The Pro client has full access and can add measurements to the database. The Trends client has full access for reports and curve creation, ideal for pre-press, but cannot add measurement data. The third is the mobile client. This client uses a web browser to access and view job data, so that a viewer might be able to remotely monitor the progress of a live job or review the measurement scores from a previous jobs in the database using any computer or smartphone. You can also text chat other connected PressSign users. I'm going to use my computer's web browser first, and then I'll show you using my smartphone. Here we will enter the IP address of the PressSign server. You'll need to check with your systems administrator what the IP address is. For me, as you see, it's 10.0.0.16 followed by colon and then 4 nines. Once you press return, this will then link you to PressSign's mobile server. If you've never launched PressSign Mobile before, enter your username and password here and click Login. This will then take you to the PressSign activation code screen for mobile. It's useful to copy and paste the activation code from your PressSign online account or email. Once you've entered the activation code and clicked OK, you're then returned to the username and password dialog. You don't have to re-enter the activation code whilst using this browser in the future. We're then taken straight to the database of PressSign, where we can firstly see the last 10 jobs in the database. We can select to see more if we want to, and on the right hand side we can see the overall score and any spot colours that were included in the job. We can also click on the Reports button, which is much better in the web browser on a computer than on a smartphone due to the size of the screen. Here we can click on any spot colour to see what the colour was, and double clicking a job will open up a short preview of the data for that particular job, showing how many measurements and other critical data. Here we can see that we have 7 measurements in the job. If I click on the button that says 7 measurements, this opens up each measurement and shows its score on the right hand side. If you had a front and back or top and bottom of the press, this would also be defined, and we can also filter the scoring just as you can in the main interface of PressSign. Clicking the Jobs button at the top returns me to my main job list. You can also use the search dialog box to bring up information about a specific job. Here I've opened up the database in the background so that we can correlate between the data in the main database and the PressSign mobile interface. I'll type in Synergy to look for the job that mentions at Synergy, and we see we've got 2. If I double click on that, where we have 76%, you can see below I have Synergy test listed and shows 76%. That's exactly the same data that we get in the main interface of PressSign, as we also see in the interface within PressSign Mobile. There is also the chat button, which allows you to contact other PressSign users in your group. Once you've finished here, you should click the log out button to log you out of PressSign. Moving on to the mobile interface for a smartphone, you can see I've opened a browser and typed in the required IP address. Here we're then again asked for the username and password. Once you enter those, once more, if this is your first time entering it, you'll be asked for your activation code. So please remember your mobile activation code for this point. Here we can see that we see the last 10 jobs, which is the default view. You can then also see that there are spot color references shown against the jobs, and we can select that we want to see more jobs if required. All of the functions are available on a smartphone or a tablet. However, due to the screen size restrictions, I do think that you need to just keep the data down to jobs and perhaps chat. You can search for a particular job as shown here. And this will open up the results where you can then double click on the job that you require to see and see the important data about that job. Well, here we can also see there were 7 measurements. I've rotated the screen here on my smartphone just so that we can fit in the score information. In its upright position it would not show up as well. So in rotated view you're probably likely to get more information, and again we can select all the jobs, more jobs, whatever you like to go through. You can also use this function to watch live data results coming in from a live job on the press. For more information, please take a look at the PressSign manual, which comes with every version of the software. And as I say, normally you would click the log out button to leave this browser. Thanks for taking the time to watch.